Surprise, surprise, it's another windy day here.
And it's a little chilly too.
A little chilly, yeah. This is a funny thing, so you can see the dried up
Cow turd.
cow pies, yeah. And then there's all these, I don't remember seeing these before, but all these quartz
Yeah.
rocks here. That's kind of cool.
We haven't seen the cows. Normally we see the cows out here, but I haven't seen the cows at all out here
Nope, not at all.
this time.
We'd stay here another, hell, week.
Yeah.
But one, itchy feet, and two, this stresses me out. We've got all of this crap all over our trailer, and it's salt, and it's also on our truck. I'm not really worried about our trailer as much, but I don't know, sodium mixture, and we just gotta get this shit off. It's not a good look. We have a couple things to drop off. Actually, Coles is now doing Amazon returns. Everybody asks about packages on the road, and usually lockers and
Whole Foods.
or our mailbox.
Yep.
And Coles now, Staples.
Yep.
UPS, stuff like that. So kind of cool. But man, one last look at this beautiful site. I love the Badlands. It has been a pretty good stay.
Yeah, it has been a lot less windy generally than it normally is here, which is nice. And the temperature has been generally very good.
Well, 2 nights ago, I should say, I tried to get a couple good clips, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, we had 50, 60 mile an hour gusts of wind. That is some serious wind out there. Oh, man. And I'm glad in this instance that we weren't close to the edge, because, oh, yeah, look at that. How beautiful, right?
Yesterday I walked out to one of these peaks out here.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, what a beautiful, we've been seeing the mountain goats.
We haven't seen the mountain goats out here a few. I felt bad. There was a guy that came through yesterday morning and asked me if I'd seen him, and I said not for a few days. And then we saw him later that night. So he just was there at the wrong time of day, because we've only seen him kind of around sunset.
Yeah, so. All right, let's get out of here. We love South Dakota.
We do.
Greatest state. Let's go. One last donut before we leave, because these are so good.
And Joel's a donut snob, so for him to say that these are great donuts means a lot.
Oh, golly. Look how disgusting this truck is. Once again, you guys will say, oh man, especially in the black. Oh, it's gonna look 1,000 times better. This time we'll actually scrub. Boy, all the nooks and crannies. Sheesh. Maybe you'll actually be able to read some of the decals on the side. Boy, look at the salt that has corroded that like crazy. Oh, what a shame. But yeah, this bay will barely make it. This says 9.6. I think we'll make it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I hope we do. Find out. Unfortunately, we had a familial casualty. So our beloved DJI, still in great shape, but This is the little bendy stand that we have, and a whole ass leg fell off it. What? It's not like you can screw it back in, so whatever. We didn't get great footage of our cleaning job, but I'm extremely proud of it. We did an amazing job cleaning this truck and trailer. Oh my gosh, they look new. I was so stressed about the salt leaving a bit of an imprint. You know, as you probably should be stressed out. No, this looks awesome, and this is without any, yeah, we've got a couple spots we could touch up, obviously. Those bays, we barely fit, and you never expect, perfection, obviously, but little touch up. Actually, we have a product we can use for that. You know, a little spot right here, just little soap scuds, you know, that's hanging out, but doesn't that look, looks like $1 million.
It does. It looks really good.
Whee!
Car washing is my 100% least favorite household chore to do ever.
Literally household, because we bring our home there.
You know, it turned out good. So.
Yeah, it did. So yeah, so far no rough spots on anything at all that matters, which is good. Although our lug nuts, I noticed, you know, a little tiny, I don't know what the hell that is. A little tiny bit of something there. But otherwise, I mean, there's a couple black, you know, not black streaks, but a couple streaks that we can easily touch up, and we'll do that in another video, I think, very soon. Oh, makes me proud. Windows are nice and clean. Give that a thumbs up.
The bonus here is that it's not freezing outside when we're doing this.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the weather is actually nice, and so it makes it a lot less miserable.
Exactly. God, that truck really shines too, doesn't it? Whoo-wee. I did get a little too close to the sprayer though, and got a boo-boo. Where'd our rig go? Oh. There we are. You can't even see us. Whoo-wee, she's shiny. There's a couple spots of, we can just smooth it out a little bit. A couple of water spots and such, but not a big deal. Yeah, I think we'll be nice and hidden back here, because you cannot. I mean, we're blended in.
And we're in Sturgis.
Yeah.
The hill didn't tell you.
Sure are. Everybody knows Sturgis. It's we're not here during bike week. Actually, what was it, 2-3 years ago, I think it was. We were here with Zeppelin, our Class C Integra Esteem. And when we were here, things were just falling off the walls. Wallpaper was peeling. It was so hot.
It was so hot.
And I think the humidity was up there too.
Yeah, it was humid, it was hot, it was sticky, it was gross.
Dude, we had our window shades were falling off.
Yeah.
Like the whole balance fell off. It was insane.
And then we tried to put epoxy up there to get them to stay, and then the epoxy wouldn't dry because it was so hot and humid.
What a cluster. That was not the best of times. And I didn't hold that against Jayco. I feel like I should have.
Maybe.
You can't even keep your balances up.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm still a little butthurt, whatever. But let's take a little walk through Sturgis. Sturgis is a lot bigger of a town than I had expected.
Yeah.
It looks like they have the county sheriff still patrolling out here. So they're not like city police level big.
Right.
Doesn't look like. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong.
Guess we'll bolo for that. But yeah, this is Harley Davidson Way right here. Yeah, it seems like there's kind of an older area where people like to get rowdy, you know.
Yep.
Classic. And that's what Sturgis, I hope they don't lose that, you know? But it seems like there's this area, and then there's a nicer, kind of more downtown area with the visitor center and all that.
Right, yeah.
Flying Freedom, dedicated to the veterans of the U.S. Armed Forces. That's a nice statue. I think they've got a couple nice statues out here, actually. Mm-hmm. Oh, the 75 historic bricks in the Flying Freedom statue and bench columns are from the original Harley-Davidson manufacturing plant in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They commemorate the timeless bond between Harley motorcycle enthusiasts throughout the world and the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally.
And there's a huge Harley-Davidson pavilion here.
Yeah, are those solar panels up there?
potentially.
Oh, heck yeah, they sure are.
And they've got
That's cool.
fireplaces and
Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
metal and TVs and
I wonder if they do like
live concerts here probably during the holiday.
Oh, this is interesting. Gold Star families and relatives. That's really cool. You know, it's interesting. Harley was being run by a communist for a good period of time. No, I'm dead serious. I'm pretty confident. He was a globalist communist. And October 25, they got a new CEO. The CEO, Artie, yay! The CEO, funny enough, came from places like Topgolf and Pizza Hut. He was running global operations for Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
So, I mean, best person for the job? I don't know. Like, wouldn't you want, like, you would think someone, I don't know, maybe he has it in his blood. I tried looking up his political beliefs and, you know, things about him, and he's not a whole lot out there.
No.
But let's hope he does a lot better than the last guy that was in charge, because that was a failure. Oh, that's kind of cool. Harley is one of the most American, iconic brands, right? And they sort of ostracized and outpriced. Let's be real, they're very expensive motorcycles.
Yeah.
You know, to the point that people are like, I'm going over to Indian, or I'm going, you know, even Honda was picking up some of their slack, and, you know, which is whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But what a shame. That's not the person you put in charge. And you have to be an idiot to hire that guy into the most American. That's cool, but the most American brand, you know. Oh, I see you in there.
A lot of these places are like closed for the season and open back up in June.
Yeah. We have not been here during a rally, and it's probably for the best. I don't think we need to add a motorcycle to our repertoire.
No.
I used to ride, and it's been a while. It's for the best.
That was pre-Emma.
Oh my gosh. I love everything about this bench. It's giving freedom. Woo! The Stinger Saloon. The second best Bloody Mary in Sturgis, apparently. Oh no, I totally misread that at first. And I was like, oh no. Oh, good. Woo! It's no gang wars is essentially what it is. Don't wear your colors in there. I thought that was something different. Oh, I was not about it. Okay. Oh boy, it is an incredible exhibit when all these folks are out here. Oh man, Harley lovers, freedom and liberty lovers. Golly. Dude, that hat. Jeez, man. And greetings from Sturgis. It's funny though, I had first learned about Sturgis from watching Cops as a young lad. And it was, it's the funniest thing. But again, I think about it, I'm like, this is the culture, right? Sturgis, if you want to learn the culture of Harley Davidson, right? And
or motorcycles in general, really.
The red-blooded Americans that ride Harley. You know, because, and they're like, oh, we need to get with the younger crowd. Shut the hell up. Like, no, like nobody's riding an electric Harley. Like, calm down. You know, and I'm not saying that an electric motorcycle shouldn't be a thing, but it shouldn't be called a Harley. It's kind of like the Mach-E being called a Mustang. Are you stupid? Like, what the hell? You don't put a man in charge of Harley Davidson that doesn't love a beer and a good pair of titties. You know what I mean? It's just, it's un-American. And I think, as far as hold on.
There's a good reason Joel doesn't come to Sturgis, everybody.
I don't drink, that's why. Who was running Harley Davidson before the current CEO?
Before Artie Stars, the CEO was Jochen Zeitz. He ran the company from 2020 to 2025. Anything else about that period you're curious about?
How did he do as a CEO?
He's credited with creating and kicking off the Hardwire strategy, which was a 5-year plan to overhaul the company and reinvigorate the brand, all while navigating some really tough economic times. People often mention his efforts to push the company toward electric motorcycles with the Livewire brand, kind of balancing their history with future trends. Some hardcore riders felt Zeitz was trying to turn Harley into a European luxury brand, moving away from its traditional American rebel image. Under Jochen Zeitz, Harley-Davidson did put in place some diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, like employee training on things like unconscious bias. They also had goals for supplier diversity. However, there was a lot of backlash from some of their traditional customers, and earlier this year, the company announced they were pulling back on a lot of those efforts, saying they no longer have a dedicated DEI function or specific supplier diversity spending goals.
Well, anyways, he wasn't very popular with the crowd, and as a result, they lost a little bit of market share, and I hope they can get it back, because I think that we need these kind of companies in our nation. You know, not just companies that are looking to, you know, go global. We need American companies to make American motorcycles using American labor, American parts, American steel. None of this bullshit from everywhere, just trying to do the cheapest. If you're gonna charge $50,000 for a motorcycle, it damn well better be made here. Am I wrong?
Huh?
You know what I mean? Whatever. Rant over. Well, that's kind of cool. Special thank you goes out to the city of Sturgis. Joe Petrali was a champion hill climber and dirt bike racer with a long career as a very successful do-it-all racer. This sculpture is taken from a famous photograph of Joe on a specially built Harley-Davidson Streamliner during his historic 1 mile, 136.183 mile per hour record in 1937. His record would hold for 11 years until Rolly Free finally broke the mark on Vincent at the Bonneville Salt Flats. Goodness gracious. That's pretty cool. That does go to show what aerodynamics can do and why our truck does not get very good fuel economy. I never dreamed I'd grow up to be an asshole, but here I am, killing it. Bigfoot crack it the Man, I bet these places are a hoot. Ban idiots, not guns. That is a fact. That is a fact.
The fluffy cows.
Oh man.
Taking my place on my throne.
This is kind of cool. You got your engine blocks, your tanks here. You got your pipes and your these big old chains on that.
Kind of like the throne from Game of Thrones, which I've never actually seen, but I know what the throne looks like.
That's it. Yeah. There's a photo for you. Sturgis Motorcycle Museum. Actually, bet that's kind of cool.
Probably.
Here's the thing though, and I have an appreciation for a beautifully painted motorcycle and all, but a vintage motorcycle to me is not the same as a vintage car.
True.
You know, or a beautiful car and a beautiful motorcycle, I'm taking the car all day.
Yeah.
Is that a freaking alien? Oh, I love it. They're full of funny sculptures out here, pointing up to the Harley sign. He's pondering.
I feel like South Dakota is the state for yard art. Lots of cities have statues all over them and art all over. I don't know, it just feels like South Dakota is the yard art state.
Yeah, check out this cool shop though. It's Prairie Emporium. Horse collar mirrors for sale. I don't know. That looks like a little, oh man. Is that a cougar in there? Like a cougar skin? What the heck? What in the world? They've got a bunch of stuff in there, don't they? Oh man. Cool shop.
Looks just like me.
I completely agree. Same. Actually, this is kind of funny. Every time we're here, though, they're not open. Selling happiness one scoop at a time, but I prefer Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Taking life one what the fuck at a time. I guess it's an ice cream and beer shop. That's
The day that it was so hot, we did get ice cream here.
Oh, did we?
We did one time.
Did I go in?
Yeah. You said I was dogs.
That's probably, yeah. That's why I don't remember it.
Yeah.
No, ice cream on a really hot day, though, all that milk, I don't think.
Makes you feel bad.
Does make me feel bad.
Yeah.
I don't know, which actually we'll talk about. We did a little bit of shopping today.
We did.
We really loaded up though.
We should be good for a couple weeks, yeah.
Yeah, at least. Now this is pretty cool. A huge guitar with auto parts and motorcycle parts. Yeah, I guess maybe they're all motorcycle parts. Look at that. That's cool. They even have a whammy bar with the handlebars.
That's so funny.
This looks really cool. Dang. Ooh, look at this statue.
This is called Horse. Majestic in their strength, speed, and independence, the horse was indispensable at the nearby cavalry outpost of Fort Meade. Before motorcycles, they once dominated the legendary Sturgis Main Street. Today, horses work on our area ranches, run wild on the prairie, and are remarkable pro rodeo athletes. Many a cowboy has loved his horse as a best friend.
No, actually, that's something we learned. Is prior to the 1700s, horses were not native to America.
Yeah.
I always thought, like Native Americans, always had horses. They did not. We were actually introduced by either I think it was the French or Spanish, no, it might have been Spanish. They were introduced by, and it really changed the way that they interacted with the world for 200 years, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Fascinating. I do sometimes wish we were still more horse and buggy, right? Like, and I mean, the Amish folks do it, so, you know, the Mennonites and such.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Sometimes
slower way of living.
This is a slower way of living. It's more deliberate, and Something so cool about horses.
Yeah,
But there's a lot that can also go very wrong,
for sure.
you know. All right, let's go back. Let's go home. It's so weird. Let's go home.
Yeah.
You know, it's no different, right? Like, it's just that we kind of move our home around.
Right.
It's so cool. Like, there's a lot of things I take for granted that other YouTube channels they'll point out and they go, oh, this is so awesome. I'm just like, yeah, that's just how it is, you know?
Right.
I have to get out of that, yeah, that's just how it is, because I got to hype this back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a terrible hype person for RV living.
We love it.
Yeah, I do love it. So we went grocery shopping, we loaded up. We're trying to get a lot more fiber in. So berries, veggies like broccoli are really, really good for more fiber.
Joel hates broccoli though, so we'll see how that goes.
We're finishing up the yogurts, and yeah, no soda. We need to do something with all the cheese. We don't want to have dairy
Better start eating it.
for a little while. But then we got some pretty good deals on meat. There, got a big old thing of meat. That was like 56 bucks.
Yeah, 10 pounds of hamburger for 55 bucks.
Yeah,
And then we got some frozen berries, some chicken, some steak in here.
yeah, so that's pretty good.
It's all a landslide in here right now.
It'll slowly, you know, develop. And then we also got some rice and pears. Pears are really good for fiber.
We're trying to go gluten-free and dairy-free right now.
Yeah, so we're getting closer. We're just gonna finish off what we have and then, you know, off we go. So we're still on a journey of figuring out what is causing the pain. Sugar it's not just sugar. It's something else.
Yeah.
So we're still on that journey of like, what is it? And
I think it has to do partially with like processed foods and seed oils and stuff like that too.
Seed oils, definitely, I feel that. And it's funny because there's a lot of things that you wouldn't think seed oils would be in. Soybean, palm, and canola oil. There's a couple others, and they'll also hide them under different names and stuff. But yeah, we're still figuring that out. The gut, you know, they call the gut the second brain, which is kind of interesting. And they're calling like Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes. It's fascinating following some of this, and like, you know, some of the things are like, oh yeah, try this and this can work, and folks are reporting success, but it's so hard to get like widespread. So it's one of those things that it's like, well, if there's no downside, you know, there's no downside to getting more fiber. There's no downside to cutting certain things out, right?
We'll definitely probably feel better.
Yeah, like I felt really good on carnivore, but it's also just one of those things I'm like, it's kind of, it's hard to sustain that sometimes. So we'll find a middle ground.
Yeah.
You know, but.
Yeah. And we set a goal. We're gonna do like a very strict kind of elimination type diet for the first 21 days, and then from there we might try to introduce some other things back in.
Yeah, slowly add things, including like dairy back in. Yeah. That's one that I want to be good at.
Yeah, but maybe we'll stick to like yogurt and not like cheese and milk.
Initially, yeah, we'll just do one at a time. But yeah, we just watched something on the gut and the microbiome and how all of that interacts, and the bacteria, and how not all bacteria is bad, all right, like contrary to popular belief. And so how antibiotics can just wipe us out and really change. And you go, oh yeah, well, I'll just reinvigorate my gut. And it's like, that doesn't work. And a lot of things where like you can introduce bacteria from one person into another person, and they'll have some of the ailments.
Yep.
Like acne, for example, or depression, which goes to show that like a lot of depression is caused by, you know, anxiety and panic attacks, things like that.
Yeah, that's kind of a gross thing if you really look into that one.
Yeah, what was it? Do you remember what it was called?
That documentary?
Yeah. Yeah, this one was on Netflix, and it's called Hack Your Health: The Secrets of Your Gut. And so, not a very long. It was an hour long or something like that.
An hour 19 minutes.
It was a little eye-opening, and I'm inclined to like agree with a lot of it. It's very fascinating, even like C-sections versus vaginal births, how there's significant differences in the development of the child, and why that is, right? Bacteria and stuff like that. So, and some of it's just theory, but some of it's been long documented. So,
yeah, we're doing some research. We're trying to get to the bottom of these health things that Joel's got going on, and just being healthier in general.
Yeah, which none of it's gonna hurt. So, I mean, eating whole foods is never a bad thing, right?
Yeah, something was like the documentary last night, I've heard it somewhere else before, is that you're supposed to get like 20 to 30 different varieties of fruits and vegetables a week. Yeah. Which, like, thinking about that, it's daunting. We don't. But thinking about it, it's daunting. But then, like, when we went grocery shopping today, like, we bought 20 different things at least.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and a lot of it, like, why would sugar be bad? It's like, well, sugar's not necessarily bad inherently, but it's absorbed right into your bloodstream, right away, early in the digestive process. But the bacteria doesn't necessarily get fed down lower in, in your colon, stuff like that. If you don't have enough fiber to carry it through, because fiber is harder to break down, right? And so you can feed the healthy bacteria and all that.
Well, right, and sugar also feeds the bad bacteria, and the bad bacteria wants more sugar, and so then you get cravings and stuff like that. So
yeah, we're not going to spoil it though. Watch that if you're interested. If you have Netflix, watch it. It's not that long, and I thought it was. It's eye-opening and kind of gross and interesting at the same time. And once you get used to it, it's not gross.
And I think it sent me down a rabbit hole where I'm going to be watching a lot more of these health documentaries.
Yeah, and I was a CNA for a while, and so I kind of got, I don't want to say like immune to being grossed out by poop. Watch it. Okay, thank you guys for watching this video. See you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.